So, in the last video, I talked about my experiences with Amazon and my thoughts on the Fire Phone, and I was primarily talking about dynamic perspective and how the device would be AT&T centric. I should clarify, in case I didn't in the last video, from what I understand, now I'm going to be looking further into this as time goes on, and I'm going to be waiting, obviously, for the journalists to get their hands on this thing. But the device will be carrier locked to AT&T, and I can understand why they're doing this, and I should have, I don't know if I explained this in the last video. I think I failed to. One of the features in Amazon's new Fire Phone is what they call Mayday, and Mayday is truly wonderful. I think I made a mention that if you're a screen reader user, in fact, now I remember talking about this. If you're a screen reader user, then they will need to use a screen reader as well. But one of the things I think I forgot to point out was that one of the reasons, and I think this is one of the reasons for the carrier exclusivity on AT&T, that is, if you have a problem that's not device related, but you feel Mayday could help you anyway, they will hand you over to an AT&T representative that, from what I understand, uses the same Mayday service. They will have AT&T representatives on Mayday. Now, I can understand why, if they're going to go this route, why it's going to take a while for carriers to get a similar service set up elsewhere. And also why having it unlocked. Now, I'm all favor for unlocked, but if they're going to go this support route, I can see where it would be problematic. So, unless they were able to load, say if you put in a T-Mobile SIM onto your Fire Phone, and that would load up certain T-Mobile APIs for their version of the Mayday handoff service. But I just wanted to touch on that real quick before getting into the main event. One of the things I completely forgot to talk about was Firefly. What Firefly is below the camera, there is, below the volume button, which is on the left-hand side, so it's your typical volume control. Below that's your camera button and your Firefly button. I will zoom in here so you can get a better look. Now, for those of you who do not have the Amazon app, or even if you do and you haven't used it, I'll go ahead and explain. The Amazon app has a new feature called Amazon Flow, or at least it's new to my eyes. It used to be where Flow was contained within a single app. So, so what Flow does is you put the camera in front of something, it looks at it and takes a look at Amazon's database. Now, in my experience, I think I tried it with a DVD once and it seemed to work okay. But then I tried it with my G-Shock watch, which I purchased on Amazon, and it didn't recognize it. And I think there were a number of reasons for that. First of all, I was wearing the watch and I had the phone in my hand, so natural hand movement I think would throw the system off. Number two, I don't think that the system is near as advanced as this new Firefly system. And number three, the fact that it was running on the Samsung Galaxy Note 2, which by today's standards, especially with cameras, I mean, it's okay, but you can see it's falling behind rather quickly. With Amazon developing their own hardware for this service and expanding it into what is now Firefly, I could see this being a major disruptor to the brick and mortar stores. For example, just the other day, just for kicks, I decided to check and see if they had any couches on eBay, just to see, what was there. I'm always interested in seeing about what, or did I say eBay? I'm sorry, I meant Amazon. I'm always interested in seeing what's on Amazon. So I looked and saw these couches, and I thought to myself, what would be nice with Firefly is it says here that you can have over 100 million items browse through. I can see this as being a major disruptor to any brick and mortar store, and I could also see it increasing price matching through the roof. Now, let's go back to that couch example. Let's say I wanted to buy that couch. There were multiple offers, new and used. There was a very steep discount down to, and I'm not kidding about this. Now, before anybody goes ahead and says, "Oh, there's probably a catch," I don't want to argue that. There might just be a catch, especially when you're about to hear the price I'm quoting. But the asking price originally was $200, the list price. They were letting it go for $55 brand new. Now, I'm using this example because, let's say I went into a furniture store and saw a similar couch, and I went ahead and looked, okay, let me price check on Amazon. The couch, let's say, is going for $1,000. Amazon has it for $500. If a salesman walks up to you and sees that you're doing that, I could see them doing one of two things. Either throwing you out of the store or wanting so desperately to make a sale that they're willing to do anything. You could say to them, well, Amazon has it for $500, and the salesman would say, I'll give it to you for $4. I could just see this turning brick and mortar stores on their head. Several years ago, I took some pictures of various products that I was interested in. And this guy at Best Buy walked up to me and he said, I'm not trying to be, he wasn't trying to be, a jerk. He was perfectly respectful, perfectly all right. And he just said, I would like for you to please stop taking pictures, which obviously I did. And then later being in my good-natured self, I went ahead and apologized. And he said, no, it wasn't me. It was I was basically speaking through my manager kind of thing. That was a couple years ago, and I think they were probably afraid of one of two things. Either theft or that I was going to order it online. These days, the online ordering threat, if you ask me, is bigger than anything. And with Amazon's Firefly service, I could see brick and mortar stores to a large extent. Now, I'm not saying that they won't completely go away, but I wouldn't be at all surprised if their shifts, if their names may end up shifting in purpose. Well, take a look at the name Circuit City, for instance. They basically went bust, and they've reopened as an online store. And I'll bet you it's because of the increase, in online purchasing. And now that Amazon's got this feature, the way I see it, Amazon is poised to completely destroy the physical retail market. What do you guys think? Thank you for watching. Comments are welcome, and have a nice day.